Okay, so I'm doing another album battle today, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation 1814 versus The Velvet Rope. Here's a track listing on both albums in case you wanted to refresh yourself on which song is on which album, and then you can make your decision. For this, let's just assume the standard track listing of The Velvet Rope. This is the one where you could actually see all the songs, so that's what he did. So basically, like, the first side is the standard track listing for it, and there's some bonus tracks, but just go assumed off of that. So my pick today, I have to go with The Velvet Rope. And I just really appreciate what she did with it. She was basically just saying she was going through depression and all these things, and she ultimately had to put it into the music, and that was something that was really hard for her to do, but I think that ultimately paid off. There's a lot of great moments on this album. Together Again was a song that she wrote for her friends who passed from AIDS, and I can appreciate the way that she had it be a celebration of life, basically. And so that song was a worldwide hit. I Get Lonely is one of my favorite Janet Jackson songs of all time, of course, and it's just brilliant R&B perfection. I love the music video, I love the choreography, I love it all. Special, I think, is underrated by her, and it kind of sums up the album as well, talking about we can't forget about our past, and that's something that you have to ultimately own, and you have to work through that. So I really enjoyed it, and I thought that that was a beautiful piece on the album. Free Zone, apparently a lot of people don't like it, but I always really enjoyed this song. Got Till It's Gone with Q-Tip, masterful performance on there. And there's a lot to like about this album, honestly. I don't have any skips on this album. Some of my least favorites, I would probably say Anything. That song has grown to me. I just think there's so many incredible songs on this album. That one kind of falls in the shuffle. Also Tonight's the Night, but I don't skip any songs on this album. I like to listen to the entire thing because I want to get the entire experience, right? And then you also have great songs like What About, for example, which is her talking about domestic violence and her getting into her rock bag once again, which is always a pleasure to listen to. So I think she tackled a lot of societal issues as well as her own past. And even the title track, The Velvet Rope, I really enjoyed it. And with this album, she basically said a velvet rope is going to keep people out or it's going to let people in. And so she kind of is going through that with this entire album. And I remember the first time I heard this album, blew my mind. I was like, this is just a masterpiece, and I still love it to this day. It is like a top 2 album of all time for me. So I ride hard for this album, I do. And on my YouTube channel, Anastasia25, I did a whole album review of this and shared my thoughts on every single track, overall thoughts on the album. I might do a revisit with me on it, which is where I re-listen to the entire album just because there's so much to talk about, and I really do love it. But you guys can check that out if you would like. Now on to the case for talking about Rhythm Nation 1814, because this is no slouch. Rhythm Nation, the title track, I mean, incredible, with music by her side to break the color lines. And her goal with this album was kind of just to talk about social issues and to ultimately kind of try to help. And even on her song Should've Known Better, on the Unbreakable album, she was kind of saying that was her goal with the album and that she should have known better. There's only so much that one person can do. But I respect her for trying to use her platform for good and taking that chance and the artistic risk. Because her label basically wanted her to make Control Part 2, and she's like, I'm not doing that. And she made this masterpiece. And then other songs I love on this album, Come Back to Me is one of my favorite Janet Jackson songs of all time. The vocal layering in that is so beautiful, and just the songwriting on there is incredible as well. I think it's an amazing piece. Also, Miss You Much is a great song. I love that one. Escapade is so much fun to listen to on this album as well. Other songs I loved, Love Will Never Do Without You. I like the music video as well. Shout out to Herb Ritz for directing that. He's the same guy who directed the Maya All video for Mariah Carey, and that was a great video too. And then Blackout is a great song, kind of just talking about, drugs and stuff like that, and a bigger anthem in that respect. So both songs kind of talk about social issues in their own way. Both are really well written, and what I liked about Rhythm Nation was the New Jack Swing on there. New Jack Swing is one of my favorite subgenres of R&B, and then the Velvet Rope is definitely a more alternative R&B moment and definitely paved the way for some people, so I have to give respect to that. And both albums have no skips to me, and for me it is so hard to have an album with no skips. There's plenty of albums I like, but this album is going to have at least 1 or 2 skips, so that just really shows Janet's amazing selection in terms of the track listing and in making great songs. And shout out to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for producing both of these and for their contributions as songwriters as well, and production and all those things, because definitely made 2 masterpieces. So honestly, I put these 2 together because a lot of times when we're talking about Janet's best album, people usually say one of these 2. I could see you going either way, honestly, because Rhythm Nation, 7 top 5 hits, great pop album while also talking about the social issues. It really has it all. If you want to show basically someone Janet Jackson greatest hits, basically play this album, honestly, because there's a lot of hits on this. It's a great work. And then The Velvet Rope just has more introspection on her life at large and is also still talking about social issues and is more of an R&B effort. So you can't go wrong either way. And so I just thought this would be a really fun one to do. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Which one are you going to be picking and why? And also what are your favorite songs on both of these albums? But if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel Anastasia 25 Vlogs, which is where I'm going to be posting this. You can also like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you hit the bell, you get notifications for when I post new videos come out. And my main channel, Anastasia 25, will be linked down below in the description, so you can see more from me on there. I do album reactions, album reviews, stuff like that. Also going to have all my social medias if you would like to follow me, and Free Palestine.